X-Men 97. Was this episode 7 or 8? I forget. Anyways, this episode is great. This episode is basically the gang dealing with the aftermath of Genosha. And spoilers for this episode, Captain America briefly returns. Though, I don't think that'll be the last of him. We don't really get an explanation of where he was at the end of his last appearance in the original series, so that's kind of weird. But I have a feeling that they'll deal with that at some point. Still, he's gonna have to come back at some point. It starts with a funeral for Gambit, not so much Magneto, which is kind of odd, but okay. But I guess you know. And we get that nice subplot where Jubilee helps her little friend come out to her parents. And, this is another example of what's great about X-Men. I mean, you could really read this kid coming out to his parents as a mutant as him just being gay, especially the way that they're like, oh yeah, we knew. And he's like, you knew? That's kind of similar to a lot of parents' experiences and things like that. So I like that subplot, but also I just think that maybe they're building Jubilee in him for maybe a possible romance. We'll see how that goes. Wouldn't mind that. I really love Jubilee, and seeing more stuff with her would be great. And then, we see Rogue dealing with her anger and regret of what happened. And when they actually go to Task, who has some info of what happened on Genosha, she actually fucking murders him. And then he doesn't die. He becomes like a human version of a Sentinel, which is fucking crazy. Great action. And yeah, all that stuff is great. All this stuff is fantastic. It's just a really well directed episode, and you see all these characters dealing with their grief in very drastic and different ways. Some becoming rage filled and hateful, like Rogue, and Beast becoming more like trying to ration out what he did wrong in the scenario, I guess, and some other characters like that. Cyclops dealing with his own problems and things like that. And then we see Magneto's alive at the end of the episode, so we'll see how all that goes. And yeah, great episode. Let me know your thoughts, like, share, and subscribe.